show y'all what we be snacking on. You dig? Okay. Hot Cheetos and Takis. Hot Cheetos and Takis. I can't get enough.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to both the first ever combined Fast Food for Thought and Food Literacy for All. My name is Lily Fink-Shapiro. I'm the program manager for a group on campus called the University of Michigan Sustainable Food Systems Initiative, or we call it SFSI. And as you likely already know, this evening, we are going to hear 10 tiny talks from a group of interdisciplinary speakers from all across the university who either conduct research or teach classes all about food systems. Each talk will only be 5 minutes long, and it's really not your average lineup of topics. In the next hour, we're going to hear about urban agriculture, pea cycling, the relationship between our dining halls and climate change, online grocery shopping, eating disorders, tribal food sovereignty, and much more. So it's great to see over maybe 230 some of you already here today. And I especially love it like times like tonight when we have students learning alongside other people in our community, people like farmers and activists and chefs and other just curious members of our general public. So tonight is actually the 8th annual Fast Food for Thought. And to me, it's just incredible the fact that every year we have new speakers to invite who have never been a part of this event from our very own campus. And I think it's a really impressive indicator of the extensive and interdisciplinary network of food systems expertise that we have on campus. Tonight is all about finding a common thread between these seemingly disconnected talks that all relate to our food system. And Fast Food for Thought is really a strategy to promote interdisciplinary thinking and collaboration. So if you've been here before, if you've joined us in past years, welcome back. If this is your first time at Fast Food for Thought, we hope that we will hook you and that you will engage with us again. So now I would like to invite up Winona Bynum, who's the director of the Detroit Food Policy Council, and she is our co-conspirator and community co-instructor for this Food Literacy for All class, and she will share with us a few announcements.
Thank you, Lily. So if you have been to this course in the past, or any of over the past, you know pretty much what some of the announcements that I'm going to say. So if this is your first time, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. So the course is made possible. No, first of all, the course, I get to co-lead the course with Dr. Margot Finn and Lily Fink-Shapiro. So the amazing thing about this course is that it is co-led. It is a community academic partnership, and I've had a great time being a part of this. And working with Lily and Margot is amazing. Also, Food Literacy for All, we film all the classes. So if you miss anything, you can go back. The actual tiny talks will be segmented. So you can watch one if you want to watch one over, or if you want to watch them all over, they will be available. So we film them and then they're available shortly after this class on the FSI website. So ways to engage. Since we're not all in a room together, we have virtual ways to engage. You can use a mural board. If it's a quote that really speaks to you, you can put that out there, or if you have discussion points and want to talk to any of the other folks that are sharing this class with you, you can do that. You can also tweet on the hashtag, and then there'll be multiple choice poll questions that will come up throughout tonight's session. So please use the Q&A box for any questions to address in the class. As you can see, the chat box is open, but for questions that you want addressed, please use the Q&A box. And I warned you about the poll questions. So the first one is up now. And do you have groceries delivered to your home? And there are multiple questions or answers that you can say. I've never had groceries delivered, or don't have access to grocery delivery. Yes, during lockdown, but not anymore. I've used meal delivery services, but not grocery delivery. Occasionally, but not always. I don't have access to grocery delivery service, or I'm never going back to a store in person if I can avoid it. And if you have any hilarious mishaps, drop that in the chat. And so while we wait for everyone to engage in a poll, this is the lineup. So you can see the talks that Lily talked about, the 10 different talks. And as soon as the poll answers comes up. All right, so many of you, so actually the majority, it's all over the place, but the majority or the largest percentage haven't had groceries delivered. Interesting. And some during the lockdown, but not anymore. So really interesting. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Margot Finn up to introduce our first speaker.
Thank you so much, Winona. Thanks, everybody. It's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker. We'll see if she can sway those 37% of you. So Kate Astashkina from the Michigan Ross School of Business tells us that her favorite food, at least today, is sushi. But if you ask her tomorrow, you might get a different answer. She's not being inconsistent. She just likes a whole lot of things. And she's going to talk to us a little bit about that question, shall we do our groceries online?
Thanks so much, Margot, for the introduction and a little bit of the disclaimer. So I have a 2 months baby boy with me. So this is his first public speaking. So I apologize, us in advance if there is some interruption in, the flow of the stuff that I'm talking about. So hi everyone, and first of all, thanks so much for the invitation and organizing such a great event. I'm hoping that all of you are going to have a lot of fun, and myself included. So my name is Kate, and I am an assistant professor of technology and operations at the Ross School of Business. So my research expertise is broadly defined as sustainable operations management, and specific to the food industry. I study tech-enabled new business models that have the potential to create positive environmental and social impact, okay, sometimes. So the main question that I would like to answer today for you is whether doing groceries online is greener than doing groceries in a traditional way by, say, driving to a store yourself. Okay, so I'm happy to see that some of you have used the online service before based on the initial polling. I myself have been an exclusive user of the home delivery, food services for the past couple of months because of the baby. He doesn't allow me to go anywhere at all. Okay, so so is doing groceries online is actually greener? Well, it turns out that it is greener than the traditional way of shopping, as long as you do the shopping frequently enough. Okay, so how come like we think of frequency as the main driver for doing groceries online and being greener or not? Well, it sounds like if I ask you to do the home delivery services and use the home delivery services too frequently, that's going to generate insane amount of miles. Okay, so it doesn't sound like an option which is greener as opposed to like regular food shopping. Well, in my research, what I show is that despite the pollution that we create by having that much driving of home deliveries, overall emissions from the online food shopping are actually smaller and in comparison to the traditional shopping. And to understand that driver for why online shopping for food is greener, we have to think about this exact frequency of shopping that I've been talking about. So think of it as follows. So if you shop frequently, say once a day, okay, virtually we will create actually zero waste because you'll be buying just for the day. Okay, so every day that you'll deliver, the food to home, obviously is going to create a lot of pollution from driving, but there is no waste at all that you're creating at the household level. At the other extreme, if you shop infrequently, say once a week, okay, and that's something that happens with the offline shopping when people cannot drive to the stores too often. They'll stuff the fridge with a lot of food, and inevitably some of it is going to waste. In fact, average consumer wastes for about 25 to 40% of food that they buy. So it's really a lot of food waste that we create. And so that's what we have to tackle. So if you do the shopping infrequently, that means that you are not creating as many miles of travel because you're shopping infrequently, but you're spoiling a lot of food. So it turns out that the environmental footprint of food waste is actually enormous, and it's a much bigger polluter than just driving to the store or delivering food in online shopping. So think of crazy amounts of planet resources that are used to produce and grow the food, transportation to get that food from far to fork, landfill emissions when we throw away stuff, just energy emissions for storage, all that stuff. So all this means that if you need to drive a few extra miles of travel, okay, as in online delivery services case, to create some pollution from driving, but you end up creating less waste at home by buying less at a time and spoiling less food, absolutely go for it. Okay, so with online shopping, overall consumers are likely to generate less carbon emissions as long as they are shopping frequently enough, as opposed to traditional shopping. So the driver is because online shopping is more convenient, and so you are actually able to do it more frequently than the traditional shopping. So in my research, I show that with online shopping across many markets, many geographies in the US, there is a potential to reduce emissions by switching into online shopping mode. And the reduction is coming anywhere from 3 to 7% on average, depending on the market characteristics. And all that is thanks to the frequent deliveries and lower food waste that we gain on the household level. That's all that I have for you today. I hope that I convinced you that you should do online grocery shopping if you are able to do that. Thanks so much for listening, and looking forward to the next speaker.